You're on.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone to the March 23rd, 2021 regular scheduled City of Port Clinton Council meeting. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Gabe Belo,
Here.
Pat Hovis,
Here.
Beth Gilman,
Excused.
Roseanne Hickman,
Present.
Lisa Slobodian,
Here.
Margaret Phillips,
Here.
and Jerry Tiroli.
Present.
Thank you. Council, you were previously emailed the March 9th, 2021 meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, we we approve the minutes from March 9th meeting.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Hovis. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Oppose the same sign. Motion carries. The chair notes that certification has been made regarding compliance with the rules and notifications of this meeting. We have no guest presenters, no public comment.
Not that I'm aware of, nobody's asked, but
Okay.
appears that those that are on here don't have a microphone anyway.
Oh, okay. We'll move on to executive officers reports. There's a new ordinance. It's ordinance 12-21. Administration has asked that it be passed on its second reading due to being time sensitive and to meet deadlines for applying for the grants. The TMACOG sent out an email, I believe all council got it, about Ohio Sunshine Law training. It's online. It's April 16th. And it's a Friday. It's a 4.5 hour training. Everyone on council has to do it one time during your term. And if you do take the training, you will get a certificate, and please provide a copy of that to Mr. Hatfield in the auditor's office to keep record of that. Also, your ethics disclosure forms are due by May 17th if you haven't done that already. And I'd like to wish Mrs. Phillips a happy birthday. And that's all I have. Mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. In addition to Ms. Phillips celebrating a birthday, we have another festive occasion. Tomorrow, Mr. Colston will be celebrating an anniversary. How many years, Trace?
31.
31. Very good. Very good.
That married or with the city?
Married to the city.
Half at the city and 31. Yeah.
Some other news, the long-awaited and promised work on the Oak Street pump station has begun. Things have been dug, things have been bored or in the process of. ATM, it still needs to come out. Ohio Edison needs to do their thing. Once the power is hooked up across Perry Street, the power will be removed as it daisy chains across the city beach. That conduit and wire will be removed. The barricades will be removed, graded, cleaned up a little bit because it's been a while since that's been touched, and that section of the beach back open for everybody to enjoy. Crews have been out working on potholes. Again, if you have a crater in your neighborhood, please call City Hall to report the location. 419-734-5522, extension 2. We'll get you to Sandy. 734-5522. Please share the word. Likewise, and I mentioned this the last meeting, but it's very important. It's grass mowing season and grass growing season. Please keep up with the mowing. As you all know, city has an ordinance 6 inches or higher. You'll get served with a warning. Short time after that, the city crews will come out and clean it and add it to your tax bill. Likewise, as you're mowing, please remind your neighbors not to be a grass hole, and please don't throw your grass clippings into the street. They get washed into the sewers and cause all sorts of problems where, again, I'm preaching to the choir here, but we all know that we're getting ready to spend quite a bit of money to improve our infrastructure here, and we want to get in some good habits to start the whole process off. Update on safe routes to school. There was a bid opening last Friday. The winning bid was awarded to DL Smith out of Norwalk. Their estimate came in at just over $207,000. And again, this is a joint effort between the city, the county, the school district, and ODOT. April 24th, Port Port Clinton Chamber of Commerce is scheduling a downtown cleanup from 9 until noon, looking for volunteers. If anyone is so inclined, please contact the chamber office. They just want to get a head count. There will be refreshments available. The chamber office is 734-5503, 734-5503. And in the spirit of giving and volunteering back, there are a myriad of COVID clinics throughout the county, all over the place. Kim Sedlak is doing a wonderful job. She's with Ottawa County Senior Resources, organizing volunteers, but they are in serious need of some volunteers. It's not difficult work, just a couple hours. If you have the time and energy and effort, if you have a group that would like to volunteer, give Kim a call at 898-6459, 898-6459. And finally, a lot of people are asking about festivals and events. Are they going to happen in Port Clinton? What's going on with the Walleye Festival? Right now, yes, the governor has opened all of that stuff up with some parameters. It may be a walleye festival, but it might not necessarily look like walleye festivals in the past. There will be a 4th of July celebration. It may not look like 4th of July celebrations in the past. If you or someone you know calls you, asks, hey, how can I get a festival going? Please call the city. We have the event form for all events that take place on city grounds. There's an added caveat to that. The health department is asking for a COVID plan, and it's quite simply masks required, social distancing will be enforced, and just other things specific to the event that will allow the event to happen in the COVID-19 or COVID-21 world, however you want to word it. So we're starting to get back to normal with the vaccines and all that stuff. We just need to keep up the good work, do what we need to do, so we can get back to some semblance of normalcy. I want to go to a baseball game and definitely want to go to a football game this fall. So with that, Madam President, that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. I have the treasurer's report. Bed tax is $9,271.99. Dock tax is $7,175. Law director,
I do not have anything tonight, Madam President. Thank you.
thank you. Mr. Colston,
Yeah, just a couple of quick announcements, please. April 12th, we will begin our brush pickup. I want to let council know that. So if they get customers asking or constituents asking, that's the same thing. You know, we start on the west side and move east, picking up branches that are set out by the curb. And also do not forget that April 17th is our citywide cleanup that will be held at City Hall again out there in the parking lot. So just a reminder for that. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you, Madam President.
thank you. We'll move on to committee reports. I don't think Chief Hickman has anything. Mrs. Hickman?
He's pumping gas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take that as a no. If he
He's out.
needs something when he comes back, let me know. Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. Mr. Belo, Finance?
Thank you, Madam President. The Finance Committee met earlier today and recommended adoption of the 3 ordinances seeing their 3rd reading on the agenda tonight, the budget ordinance, and then the 2 fee schedule ordinances related to the police department. We can talk about those when they come up in the agenda. Thank you.
Economic and Community Development, Mr. Belo?
Nothing to report at this time.
Okay, thank you. Environment and Public Works, Mrs. Hickman?
Nothing tonight, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Safety Services, Ms. Phillips?
Thank you, Madam President. We did have quite a good discussion the other day, and something that came out, I was hoping that Mr. Hatfield would be here. We are very much in favor of having a police car or 2 added to next year's budget, because I know it's too late for this year, but that would be the budget for 2022. As we looked at the costs of repairing 2 of the 2014s, and that was almost $100,000, which is the cost of 2 cars, because that's all money that went out just for repairs. And while we were sitting there, we also learned from the chief that the engine blew on another one of his vehicles, and so that's $6,500 that's going to be going out. It seems to me that we're losing money in repairs, money that could easily be more combined to at least one other car in its place. And that was one of the things that we really came out of it. And I did mention something to Mr. Hatfield at one point, and I'm going to bring that up to him again so that it isn't forgotten. Of course, the other thing which has been on the wish list from the police chief for quite a while is the Sally Port. And I went out there again yesterday, and I can easily understand about the sieve effect where the doors are, the regular side doors are difficult to open, and there's also a lot of airflow within that door itself, not to mention the rusty parts near the bottom of what would be the standard overhead door, which is smaller than usual. And it must be a real gem to get a car in through there. Lot to be done. Other things that we have to think of too. And now that we are starting to rise from the ashes, or whatever you want to call Port Clinton is doing, because we're actually getting better at things. I think those things that need to come into play, especially at least one car and possibly two cars on the budget for 2022. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Correspondence. The only thing on correspondence this evening is Safety Services Committee meeting minutes, and those were previously emailed to all of council. Do I have a motion to approve correspondence as stated?
I will move that the correspondence be approved.
Ms.
Thank you.
Phelps, do I have a second?
A second.
Thank you, Ms. Sobis. All in favor, say aye.
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 Pose the same sign. Thank you. Motion carries. We'll move on to ordinances and resolutions. Third reading, we have ordinance 4-21. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 4-21?
Ordinance 4-21, an ordinance making appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Port Clinton, county of Ottawa, state of Ohio during fiscal year ending on December 31st, 2021.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action at ordinance 4-21?
Madam President,
Mr. Bealow,
I move to adopt ordinance 4-21.
thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion?
Madam President,
Mr. Bealow,
this ordinance is obviously must pass because we're up against the temporary appropriations deadline. And fortunately, the Finance Committee was in complete agreement with the contents and recommended earlier today unanimously that council adopt this tonight.
thank you. Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Bealow, seconded by Mr. Trolley to adopt ordinance 4-21. The clerk, please call the roll.
Kate Belo,
Yes.
Kids,
Roseanne Hickman,
Yes.
Lisa Sabodian,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries a vote 7-0, and ordinance number 4-21 is hereby adopted. Would the
Lisa?
clerk? Yes.
It's
6-0.
6-0, dear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for that correction. Correction 6-0. I forgot that Beth was absent today. Thank you very much. We have third reading of ordinance 5-21. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 5-21?
Ordinance number 5-21, an ordinance establishing a fee schedule for the service and return of writs and orders by the Port Clinton Police Department in the Ottawa County Municipal Court.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 5-21?
Madam President,
Mr. Bealow,
move to adopt ordinance 5-21.
thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Ms. Hovis, Mrs. Hovis, any discussion?
Madam President, the Finance Committee recommended earlier today unanimously to approve this tonight.
Thank you. Would the clerk please call the roll as to Mr. Below's motion to adopt ordinance 5-21, seconded by Mrs. Hovis?
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Lisa Sabodian,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Gabe Belo,
Yes.
Roseanne Hickman,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries with a vote of 6-0. Ordinance 5-21 is hereby adopted. Third reading for ordinance 6-21. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 6-21?
Already got connected with another one. Ordinance number 6-21, an ordinance establishing a fee schedule for the criminal background checks provided to individuals at the Port Clinton Police Department.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 6-21?
Madam President,
Mr. Bealow?
move to approve ordinance 6-21.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second that.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. I have any discussion?
Madam President, like the others ordinances, the Finance Committee recommended unanimously to approve these tonight, including ordinance 6-21.
Okay, thank you. I have a motion by Mr. Bealow and seconded by Ms. Phillips to approve and adopt ordinance 6-21. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Roseanne Hickman,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Gabe Belo,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Lisa Sabodian,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 6-0. Ordinance 6-21 is hereby adopted. We'll move on to second readings. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 8-21?
Ordinance number 8-21, an ordinance amending chapter 727 of the codified ordinances of the city of Port Clinton and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 8-21? Seeing none, ordinance 8-21 will move to its third reading on April 13th, 2021 at the regular scheduled council meeting. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 9-21?
Ordinance number 9-21, an ordinance amending section 719.01, 719.08, 719.09, and 719.10 of the codified ordinances of the city of Port Clinton and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 9-21?
Madam President,
Mr. Bealow?
yeah, I have one amendment that I plan to move toward. Council, you received earlier today from the clerk, 2 amendment ordinances, including or proposed amendments to ordinance 9-21 and 10-21. I'll make a motion on 9-21. And it should, I'm happy to answer any questions, and so will the rest of us. So I move to amend ordinance 9-21, 719.01, section 1, subsection E to read as follows. Downtown waterfront overlay district and central business district and manufacturing districts located west of Monroe Street and north of the rail line means the geographic area outlined in Exhibit A and 719.08 subsection A to read as follows. Street vendors shall not conduct business in the downtown waterfront overlay district, the central business district, and the manufacturing districts located west of Monroe Street and north of the rail line, and inserting as Exhibit A, the map including the overlay districts in subsection E as previously stated.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll
motion
second
for
that.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion, questions?
Madam President, if I may chime in. So the purpose for the First Amendment was to restrict the street vendors in certain areas of the city. The city has had a long-standing ordinance allowing street vendors in, but this the original ordinance as written was designed to restrict the street vendors, and the amendment is going to restrict them even further. Initially, the proposed amendment is what we had initially discussed. However, there was just a miscommunication in how it was to be written. So that's the goal of the ordinance. We want to definitely cater to our local businesses and make sure our street vendors follow all of our new rules. Thank you, Madam President.
Any questions? Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Bealow, seconded by Mr. Trolley to amend ordinance 9-21 as stated. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Gabe Belo,
Yes.
Lisa Sabodian,
Yes.
Roseanne Hickman,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
yes,
Thank you. Motion carries 6-0. Ordinance 9-21 is amended as stated by Mr. Bealow. Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 9-21 as amended?
No.
Okay, thank you. Seeing none, ordinance 9-21 will be moved to its third reading on April 13th, 2021, regular scheduled council meeting. The clerk, please read by title and summary only, ordinance 10-21.
Ordinance number 10-21, an ordinance amending section 1145.03 of the codified ordinances of the city of Port Clinton and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 10-21?
Madam President,
Mr. Bealow.
I move to amend ordinance 10-21, 1145.03 subsection G to read as follows. Exempt properties, section 1145.03 does not apply to the properties located in the downtown waterfront overlay district, the central business district, and manufacturing districts located west of Monroe Street and north of the river as outlined in Exhibit A, and inserting as Exhibit A the map including the overlay districts in some section G is previously stated.
Thank you.
I'll
Do I have a
second that.
second? Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion?
Madam President,
Yes, Mr. Bealow.
the general discussion and justification for the previous amendment on the previous ordinance follows through here. So just a clarification on what the administration and I had previously discussed and agreed to pre-ordinance. We just want to make sure that council's acting on that. And we think it's all in the best interest of the city, and we hope that council will agree. I intend to agree.
Thank you. Any additional questions from council? Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Bealow, seconded by Mr. Trolley to amend ordinance 10-21. Mr. Bealow stated. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips,
yes,
Jerry Trolley,
Yes.
Gabe Belo,
Yes.
Pat Hovis,
Yes.
Roseanne Hickman,
Yes.
Lisa Sabodian.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 6-0. And ordinance 10-21 is hereby amended as stated. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 10-21? Seeing none, ordinance 10-21 will be moved to its third reading on April 13th, 2021. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 11-21?
Ordinance number 11-21, an ordinance amending chapter 521 of the codified ordinances of the city of Port Clinton to add section 521.15 to provide provisions for the removal and disposal of junk vessels and outboard motors in the city of Port Clinton.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 11-21 this evening?
Madam President.
Yes.
May I
Ms.
say at this time that we had our safety and service meeting the other night that we voted 3-0 to endorse this as we feel this is quite valid.
Okay, thank you. Does council wish to take any action, any further action as to ordinance 11-21? Okay, seeing none, ordinance 11-21 will be moved to its third reading on April 13th, 2021 at the regular scheduled council meeting. On to first readings. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 12-21?
Ordinance number 12-21, an ordinance authorizing participation in the ODOT Cooperative Purchasing Program, including the Winter Road Salt Contract, authorizing and directing the Director of Safety and Service to execute all necessary and required documents and agreements for participation in the purchase program and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 12-21? Seeing none, ordinance 12-21, we move to its second reading at the April 13th, 2021 regular scheduled council meeting. We'll move on to business from the floor. Ms. Phillips?
Thank you, Madam President. I don't have anything to say other than my earlier comments on the cars and
Thank you. Mr. Trolley?
Yes, Madam President. A reminder, Arbor Day is April 30th, 5 o'clock at the city park. That's all, Madam President.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Hickman?
Happy birthday, Miss Phillips, and happy anniversary, Mr. Colston. That is it, Madam. That's it, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Labosian?
Nothing at this time, Madam President.
Thank you. Mrs. Hovis?
Nothing tonight, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Velo.
Thank you, Madam President. Ms. Phillips, happy birthday. I'm glad you're able to enjoy it in Italy there.
on all
Looking
4
forward.
trips.
Ms. Phillips and I were in Italy once upon a time, back in the good old days. Remember that? Ms.
Yes,
Phillips? We were there on the French trip. It was great.
the kids could keep up with me, so it was good.
Yeah. So happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing Slater's open down on the east end of town. Jolly Rogers as well. Anybody know when that's due to open? The construction is looking nice, but I look forward to seeing that as well. Nothing further tonight. Cheers.
Thank you. Seeing no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam President, I move this August body adjourn.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. All in favor, say aye.
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 Oppose the same sign. Okay, thank you. We are adjourned.
Thanks,
Motion
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Have a
fun
good
tonight.
vacation, Tracy.